So to explain to you guys, I guess my inspiration behind this, I stumbled across this filter on Instagram, and I'm not gonna lie, I saw this filter and I was like, oh my god. I don't know if I like how I look or what, but I'm gonna attempt to make myself look like that in real life. I looked very different, in my opinion. Let me tell you, as someone who has been in social media for like 6 or 7 years now, a lot of what you see online, and I know this doesn't come as much of a surprise, is not all it seems. A lot of times the things you see only looks good on Instagram. In real life, it's like your natural like lizard brain detects something's wrong. So I've definitely seen some interesting makeup looks that maybe don't translate the same in real life, or some interesting other stuff. This is my attempt at making it look good for real life. First, I do want to thank the sponsor of this video, who is Smile Brilliant. I've been using Smile Brilliant to whiten my teeth for years now. It is one of my favorite whitening teeth systems because it actually works and it's very customizable. Not only do the trays that you create with this kit, they fit your teeth perfectly, so you get into like every little crevice of your teeth, but you can also adjust the length of time you want to use the teeth whitening system. Not only do I like the results I get from Smile Brilliant, but I also like the desensitizing gel that they offer. I always make sure to pick that up whenever I get my teeth whitening refill syringes. I'm gonna go ahead and put a code right here in case you guys want to pick it up at a discount, and I'll also put the links down in the description box below. I will be applying a wig, wearing a wig, I don't know. Just putting it on for this video and then literally taking it off right after. I'll be putting this on later. Now, I do have a bit of sunscreen on my face. I actually have a mineral sunscreen. I'll put it up here so you guys can see which one I apply. I applied that on first thing this morning. It's now like, I don't know, late morning, so it's been on my skin now for a couple hours. This skin tone is definitely lighter than my natural skin tone a little bit, or just brighter looking. So one of the products that I'm going to be using is this makeup base Aura Dream. I believe this is from Shiseido. It does have an SPF 24 in it, and I like it because it's a watery consistency and it literally doesn't feel like anything on your skin, but it gives you that like bright ethereal type of look. And I just usually do that. And then I take a sponge, and you can just see how quickly this just brightens the skin without looking like anything's on the skin. But that's what that looks like. And then I'll go ahead and apply some on this side. We're definitely going a little bit lighter because I am going to be contouring and not really adding highlight on top. So this will be kind of like acting like my highlight, if that makes sense. Casper, the friendly ghost, or should I say Morgan, the friendly ghost. I was Casper one year for Halloween. Casper is like one of my favorite childhood characters. Now in this picture, you can't exactly see my brows, but let me tell you, they were quite the process. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this ColourPop Feather Effect styling wax, and I just have like a bent spoolie thing I bent, and then I literally just grind it in there. And I'm just gonna take this and brush my brows up and get my brows nice and waxy. So I'll be using this Can Make Mix Eyebrow. I really like this for eyebrow powders, and I literally take the little brush that comes with it because I just like the size of this, and I like that it's fluffy because it doesn't apply too much. It just like applies a little bit to the top of the hairs. And I take the darkest shade because I just have dark hair. And then I'm literally just going to like lay it very lightly on top and then blend it on top of that wax. Ooh, me? My brows just look like this. I never thought I'd spend so much of my adult life brushing my brows. And I'm going to be using the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser Multi-Use Concealer. I'm using the shade Sand, so this one does have like a little bit of a more yellow tan type of complexion. And I like this because it's super lightweight. And I'm just going to literally like put it on the inside of my eyes like that, and then I'm just blending it out. Just like that with my sponge. Got like really deep tear ducts. This is a little wrong. Now this next process is gonna be very layery because we're basically building the shadow and eyeliner up together to create that like pulled back type of look, like elongate your eyes and make it look more cat-like. The eyeliners I'll be using are from Clio. We have the Sharp So Simple Waterproof Pen Liner. This is like the tiniest little tip of an eyeliner. And then I'm also using the Sharp So Simple Waterproof Pencil Liner, and this is in the shade Dark Brown. So this is like an actual like, you know, pencil liner as the name implies. And then for the shadows, I'll be using the XL eyeshadows. This is the Quad in SR03. Okay, let's get into it. So the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take that pencil liner and I'm just gonna smudge this, really starting in that tight line and trying to keep it pretty close to my lashes. And I'm just gonna blend this out. Just really smudge it, but not too smudgy. We don't want it to go too high. And I'm even gonna take like my finger and like white blend it off. Just to really squish it in there. And then in between that, this is where the layering comes in. I'm gonna take that same brush and just dip into that brown and kind of apply it on top and blend it out. And again, I'm just gonna be using my finger, patting, blending, going back and forth, just really getting it in there and kind of pulling it out with my finger. The reason I'm not focusing with the brush is because the brush to me sometimes is too precise and my finger just like, you know, gets in there and smudges things around, and that's kind of what I want. So if you can kind of see the difference between my two eyes. And then next, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna take the liquid eyeliner and I'm just gonna draw a super thin line. I'm basically like putting the brush tip into my lashes. And I'm gonna flick it out a teeny tiny hair. Basically the length of my lashes, I'm flicking it out. I'm gonna do the same thing, but with the darker shadow. So I'm just gonna tap, tap, pop it on top of that liquid liner that I just applied, just to kind of, you know, blur out the edge of that line. And I'm just gonna use my finger to blot it out. So, blot, blot, blot. And for my lashes, the mascara I'll be using is this Essence Lash Princess Curl and Volume Mascara. And I'm also going to be applying some false eyelashes, except I'm gonna be cutting them in half. You can see I already cut those too. And I'm really gonna focus this mascara on these lashes here again. I'm just kind of, again, kind of pulling my lashes out like this instead of just like straight up. For my lash glue, I'm gonna be using the DF Eyelash Fixer EX. This is kind of like the best eyelash glue in the whole entire world. I'm kind of laying it longer than my eye. My eye does not go out that far, but I'm just laying it out that far so my eye looks longer again. Last thing I'm gonna do with my eyes is I'm gonna take this highlighter, also from Can Make, the Glow Twin color. I'm gonna be using this beige color a lot and tap it in, and I'm just gonna rub this on the center of my lid. This will just give my eye kind of like a more 3D effect. So this is the finished look. If you guys can kind of see the difference between my two eyes, how much longer this eye looks than this eye. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and do this eye as well. Now, since we're trying to translate this to real life for the skin, I don't wanna get too like makeup heavy on my face. Instead, I'm just gonna be relying mainly on concealer. This one's from Wake Make. I'm using shade 23. This one is a bit lighter for my skin tone, so it does give me that highlighted effect. And mainly, I'm just gonna focus on like the inner parts of my eyes where I have dark circles, redness, and kind of down the center of my face. And I'm just gonna blend this outward, and we are gonna be adding contour on top, so you just don't wanna make the face look too cakey or heavy and have like a full face of makeup going on. So, which I know to most people this seems like a lot of makeup, but comparatively to like Instagram makeup, this really isn't that much. And then for my contour, I'm gonna be using the Luna Melting Cheek Stick. This isn't too dark where it's so dramatic on the skin, but it is dark enough for my skin tone to give me a bit of a contour. And instead of going like in the hollow of my cheek, I am going slightly above my hollow, like on my cheekbone almost, kind of in that general vicinity. And I'm really keeping this on like the perimeter of my face, like keeping it back. I'm not blending it too forward onto my face. Like I really just want, when you're looking face forward at my face, to really just kind of like bring this part of my face back. And I'm going to go ahead and really contour my nose, because that's the main thing that I really noticed in this filter is my nose is so tiny and contoured. So it's almost like comes to a point at the tip. So instead of just going straight down, I'm literally gonna like make a bit of like a triangle with my nose, because this part of my nose is more round than in the filter. So I'm just gonna go ahead and draw this part, and then I'm going to really bring this part in. This is where the main contouring needs to happen. Blend those harsh lines out. And even use my finger a little bit to kind of melt the foundation and the contour together. Now I'm gonna apply a little bit of powder. I'm just using the Hourglass setting powder, and I'm just taking a teeny tiny amount and really setting underneath my eyes and around my mouth. And kind of same technique with the concealer. I just take whatever's left over and kind of blend it outward. I just don't want too much powder because number one, I have dry skin, and number two, I don't want this to look too powdery or cakey or, you know, done up. As you wear this throughout the day, the makeup will kind of set in the skin a little bit more. Now the cheeks are definitely something in this look that I feel like really stands out, and I'm going to be using the Apu Pastel Blusher. This is an RD01. I love this color, and I'm going to be very generous with this color, but you can definitely build it up. So I'm just going to tap it in a couple times, and then the shape of this blush is very like pretty straight. So I'm just kind of following where that blush is on the filter. So like that, and then kind of almost in like a baby triangle. And again, with everything, I'm taking my beauty blender, and then with everything, I just kind of like blend it out. This just kind of pushes everything together. And then there's definitely some on the bridge of the nose that kind of connects the two cheeks. So I'm just gonna put it here, and I know this is gonna look crazy, but I am gonna blend everything out again. I've obviously gotta blend this out. I'm looking very clowny, so I'm gonna take the So Natural All Day Tight Makeup Setting Fix, and I'm gonna spray it into my sponge here, very liberally. And then I'm gonna press and blend all of everything together. And this will just kind of, like I've been saying through this whole video, melt everything together. So it'll just kind of look like it's in my skin. Not just like sitting on top of it. And this will also obviously make it last all day. Probably all night too. But I'm also going to be applying the highlight to the tip of my nose. It's very obvious there's a strong highlight on the very ball of the nose. So going back into the Can Make highlight, I'm going to use my finger and just dab this onto that tip. And I want this to be very apparent. Now I definitely recommend using some type of lip exfoliator because the lip product we're going to be using is not the most forgiving. But I'm just going to go ahead and take like a towel and just kind of scrub some of that dead skin off. This is the I'm Cashmere TikTok lip tint. I like this because the color is really pretty, and I like the tip applicator because I can really like smudge it into my lips. So as I apply this color, which you click this, and this product comes out. And then for my Cupid's bow, I'm going to kind of go over that too. So we don't have like a defined Cupid's bow, since that's kind of the look. So this is the finished makeup look. I'm gonna go ahead and apply the wig, or put the wig on. I don't know why I keep saying apply, it sounds so weird. Like I said, I am not good at this stuff. The only reason I can get this to look decent in like pictures is because you can't see like the front line of the hair because it's got bangs. Get this all lined up properly on my head. I mean, honestly, let's face it, I'm not leaving the house in wigs typically, but I think like on camera and in pictures, this one's really cute because like I said, it's got the bangs. So you don't see like my hairline. I would go ahead and clip the bangs a little bit, but I'm just a little too lazy for that right now. So anyways, this is my finished look. I feel like the makeup especially looks like the filter, but more translatable for real life. So you could kind of run around with this on your face and not feel so crazy. I really like this look. I think it's fairly natural. We've obviously got very flushed cheeks and a gorgeous full lip, some natural flirty looking eyes, but overall, I feel like myself in this. I don't feel like such a filter, but I feel like my best self. Anyways, guys, like I mentioned, I'll put the links down in the description box below for all the products that I use. I hope you guys enjoyed this makeup look. It's been a while since I've done a makeup look, and I'll also put the links down below for that Smile Brilliant discount code. As always, I hope you guys are happy and healthy, and don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, share with your friends and family, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.